Hey, what's up, podcast? It's Jeff, and you are listening to a special bonus episode of Teach Better Talk. This is audio pulled from one of our daily drop-ins. That's right, daily drop-ins are back every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time over on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. This is happening from November 23rd all the way to December 18th, so join us on any of the social media platforms. We are at Teach Better Team for our daily drop-ins. We're here to support you, answering questions, talking about fun stuff, bringing on special guests, anything you need, we're here for you. Join us for the daily drop-ins. Let's get into this special bonus episode. Enjoy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Dave Schmittou here and the amazing Liv Chan joining us. So excited to be able to participate in today's daily drop-in. So go grab your coffee, grab your Danish, grab your bagel, go grab whatever you grab on a Friday morning, and come on back. We'll see you in about 25 seconds. Good morning, Liv.
Good morning, Dave.
How are you?
Today.
Oh, I can't think of a better way to start my Friday than hanging out with you. You are just one of the most positive, uplifting, supportive people in the world. So thanks for agreeing to wake up at 5:30 in the morning out there just to hang out a little bit.
It's awesome. I can't imagine a better reason why not to wake up so early in the morning.
Well, it looks like some other people are excited to be here just to hang out with you today as well, Liv. We got Jamie and Adam saying hi. Again, you are just such a ball of energy at all times. Do you mind just taking a few seconds? I know the people commenting right now, we got Kate and Jamie and Adam, they know you, but there might be some other people that are saying, oh, I've seen her before, but who is she and how is she connected to the Teach Better team?
I'd love to tell everybody. So I'm Livia Chan. I live in the Greater Vancouver area in BC, Canada. I am affiliated to the team because I'm an ambassador, and I've also recently joined the team in a different way. I'm the digital content editor for the team. So I work with Carrie, the amazing Carrie, and we work with guest bloggers, and we push out published different blog posts. That's right now we're publishing a blog post every single day, so that's really exciting. We recently published 7 new blog posts to support your course. I mean, our course, but your course on leading by empowering. That's kind of what I do. Oh, I'm also a head teacher at a new school, and I also teach grade 5.
See, that's what I was just going to say. I love how that becomes like this add-on. You know, there are 2 people that I look at and think, man, they just work so hard. They do all the things all the time. We got Ray Hewitt and Liv Chan, who I swear, I know you guys are in the next stratosphere in my eyes. You guys do so much for so many people all the time. And you mentioned that you have this day job, which I want to talk about a little bit because I think it's so fascinating how you really have these split roles. You're a teacher and a head teacher, and doing a lot of things for the students in your community in the Greater Vancouver area. So I want to talk about Canada and how Canada compares to the States. I also want to talk a little bit more about all that you do with the Teach Better team, because we have some people checking us out. We got Nikki here. I can't think of a better person to be commenting than you. We got Chelsea saying good morning to us. A lot of people hear you and see you, and again, just think that you're so full of energy. And new people just checking out the team might think that you've been connected to the team since the get-go. It's a fairly new relationship, isn't it?
It is. I joined the team in June. That was when we became ambassadors together. I thought, who is this
crazy
guy? And Jeff Gargas connected with me in the middle of April and asked me to be a guest on the podcast. And I originally thought, okay. And then I checked out the website and I thought, oh my goodness, how do I not know about the Teach Better team? There's so much going on. And the more I dove in, the more I just fell in love with everybody on the team. Everybody's so welcoming and made me feel like a big part of the family. And, you know, I was tweeting out yesterday how I didn't know what it was like to have a family like this. And now that I know, I don't know how to live without it.
It's a powerful story. You know, there's a lot to that. Just the idea that a simple reach out from Jeff, reaching out to you saying, you have a voice that we want to put on our podcast, created this amazing relationship, this amazing partnership that honestly, I can say I am a huge benefactor of. It speaks volumes to the power of just reaching out to people and letting them know that they are noticed and that they have a voice, because these connections can just continue to grow and continue to foster. So you were a guest on the podcast, and then just immediately jumped right in and said, I'm going into the deep end here. Yep, I'm going to be an ambassador. Yep, I'm going to just go live all the time. I'm going to talk to people. You send messages to people every single day. I mean, you were just like the queen of uplifting. And now you said, that's not enough. I'm going to get into the blogosphere here and help create content, putting up blogs every single day. I mean, how did this happen, Liv? How did it go from, yep, I'll be a guest on the podcast to, I'm going all in. Tell me what you need and I'm there.
You know, it's kind of like when you fall in love with somebody, all you want to do is spend time with them, right? You wake up, you think about them throughout the day. You think about them; they make you feel happy, and it's like that. And I know you feel the same way. Maybe not the same way. I was like really falling in love, but you everybody, like, we're social human beings, and we crave that community. And once you find it, and you find your tribe, and you find the people that you love and you connect with, you just become part of family. And that's the beauty of being a part of the family, is that love and that connection. And you know, you mentioned about reaching out to people. It's something I love to do, and I've made so many new friends because I've reached out. You know, somebody says something that resonates with me, so I reach out just to say thank you, and just say, you know, this is something that I've noticed about you that I really connect with. Hey, Alex, thanks for joining us. And through that, I've just developed deeper and deeper relationships. And I think all of this really coincided with the start of the pandemic, you know, having more time. As you know, maybe our listeners don't know, but I am heavily involved in the ringette community. And so that takes a lot of my time when I coach and things like that. But now I've got more time. I'm not going out as much. And so I've had this extra time to listen to a ton of podcasts and learn from so many people connected to the Teach Better team. And it just grows. It grows and grows. And the more you're in it, the more you want of it.
I agreed. And I think that's really what separates the Teach Better team. Is the Teach Better team, yep, they provide tons of content, tons of value, tons of information, professional learning. But it's more than just a one-way channel of information. The Teach Better team truly is this family where it's not always going out. I mean, it is coming in. Truly, you get embraced with the Teach Better family, and you are a part of the family. And you exemplify that. You're not just like a child on the side. You are leading and running and growing things and taking on as much as you're willing to take on, which is, I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm truly a better person as a result of it. As much as 2020 has been crazy, and as much of 2020 has truly sucked, being able to connect with you and learn with you and grow with you and just be inspired by you, truly one of the most amazing opportunities that have blossomed from this obstacle. So I'm grateful. If nothing else for 2020, I'm grateful that I got to connect with you. And now we get to hang out on a Friday morning with all these amazing people, all these amazing friends. We got Shay and Pav joining us from the Staffing Podcast. They're in Canada, our Canadian friends. We've got Alex joining us, as you already said. We've got Joe Gonzalez joining us. So many amazing people that are connected to the Teach Better family just because they're connected to individuals. And that's what's so amazing. I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, since we got Shay and Pav here, let's talk about this Canadian connection. This is something I'm super excited about. I mean, Canada is making the Teach Better team powerful, making it so amazing. So many amazing educators coming out of Canada. And one of the things I always love to talk with you about is the differences between what's happening there and what's happening here. And now that we can't travel across the border for the time being, all we have to learn from and grow from is our stories. So I want you to just paint the picture, greater Vancouver area. I told you this before, but during the pandemic, during quarantine, I spent a lot of time watching the show Alone, which I know you said you hadn't seen, but Alone, there might be some other people out there that have become addicted to this show. These random wilderness experts, in air quotes, are placed out in the middle of the wilderness, typically in British Columbia, and last man standing wins money. They have to make their own shelter, make their own fire, find their own food, like all of it. It's a powerful show. Yeah, it's sort of like Survivor, but they're out there completely alone. They are their own film crew. If they do it all, there's no contest, no games, no voting off the island. You're out there completely by yourself. Everybody is completely spread out. They don't ever get to interact with anybody else, and they're just alone. So in my mind, that's what I associate with British Columbia, just total wilderness, a bunch of cougars and bears and all kinds of craziness happening. Is that where you live? Are you like out in a log cabin in the middle of nowhere? No. Okay.
Vancouver, yes, Vancouver is beautiful, Joe. No, and there may be parts of BC that's like that for sure. We have lots of forest and lots of remote areas, but I live in the city. It's the biggest city in BC. Actually, I say Greater Vancouver area because I actually don't live in Vancouver. I am 6 blocks outside of Vancouver, but nobody knows Burnaby. So if I said Burnaby, people are like, what is that? So, and Vancouver is one of the most beautiful places. I was just saying to my kids yesterday when we were saying, celebrating our Earth and sharing what we're thankful for our Earth. And I was saying, on the same day, I can go skiing and then go to the beach. And there's lakes all around as well. So, and beautiful trails. And I was telling them that when my cousin visited from Hong Kong, he was 10, and we brought him to one of the trails. And you can see him, but when we first arrived, his head went like this and looked all the way up. He'd never seen trees so tall before.
Wow.
It's all these little things. And Vancouver is definitely one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I said, we live right here. We don't even know how beautiful it is. And because of Ringette, I've traveled across Canada and I've seen other parts of the country. And, we've got we've got our flatlands, the prairies, and we've got the East Coast, which is really beautiful too. But there's something unique about living here. I live in a very, in a busy city, right? So there's tons of cars. It looks pretty much like Toronto. Maybe not as busy as New York because we just don't have as many people, but it's just city life. There's a Costco, we have it all.
If there's a Costco, you are a big town. I got you now. You should have started with that. Yeah, we've got trees, but we've got Costco. Yeah, and that's the record straight right there.
5 minutes down the street from me.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, we've got a few.
And you shouted out Jody. You said good morning. Jody, good morning to you. So glad that you're here with us. For those of you that are watching, feel free to drop some comments, drop some questions out there for really either one of us. But let's make this the Liv show. If you got questions for Liv, throw them in there. You get to hear from me all the time. So drop your questions, comments there. Otherwise, I'll just continue to ask her questions that are completely irrelevant to probably anything you want to hear. So ask questions away because I'm going to ask about Ringette right now, and then we're going to get to teaching and learning because there are a lot of people watching. You just dropped that like, oh, I've got all this free time right now because I coach Ringette, and people are like, I have no idea what she just said. And the first time we connected, I had no idea what that was. And I live in Michigan, so I'm in one of those states where I can actually look south to see Canada. I know that blows people's minds, but I can look south and see Canada. Yeah, see, I wrecked with you a little bit there too. Yeah, I look south to see Canada, and I had never heard of Ringette before. But now I'm like addicted. I watch it on YouTube all the time. These short little hockey sticks without the blades, people on the ice pushing these rings all over. But describe it for me. What is Ringette?
Ringette is like hockey in the sense that it's played on the ice. We wear pretty much the same kind of gear. The cage is a little bit different because, and the sticks aren't shorter. They're not shorter than hockey sticks. They just don't have that blade at the end. There's a ribbed plastic end at that we use to kind of capture the ring. So the ring is like a blue kind of rubbery thing that's about this size, and we just pass the ring to each other. It's similar to hockey in that we have the same number of players. There's usually a center, 2 forwards, 2 defense, a goalie, and the idea is to shoot to score, really, at the end of the day. But the rules are a little bit different. They're a little bit like a little bit of lacrosse and basketball in there. So you've got 30 seconds from the time that you gain possession to take a shot. So it forces you to be quick. In hockey, you can go from end to end by yourself. This is a sport, a team sport, so you have to pass over both blue lines before you take a shot. So I love the creativity of it, because once you gain the zone, you only have, hey Ray, you only have 3 players that can play against each other. So it's like a game of mini 3-on-3. I love it. It's such a fast sport because you don't have to worry about losing the puck. It's actually quicker, and you need more agility than hockey.
Okay, so I'm going to paint some stereotypes, because you haven't painted enough stereotypes of Canada yet. It's hockey without the blade. It is passing and total teamwork.
Yes.
But truly, okay, here's the stereotype. It's a bunch of Canadians playing. So I'm assuming after every pass, everybody just stops to say, "Great pass, eh?" and every goal, both teams line up to shake hands and hug, because Canadians are just the nicest people on the planet. Is that how it works? Or you get competitive, Liv? I can't imagine you going out there and knocking people down and getting aggressive. Do you go to that extreme?
It's interesting, because even my teammates will say, off the ice, you're like the nicest, kindest person, but on the ice, you're like, grr, and that competitiveness comes out. I play defense, and so, don't come into my triangle. I will put people over, and I will admit I have received some penalties in my life.
Yes. I love this. I love where this conversation is going. We're seeing a different side of Liv right now. Yes. So what is it that gets you frustrated? What gets you aggravated? Because again, I've never seen it. All I ever see from you is just constant love exuding from Liv. It's like love comes from your heart to your mind to your thumbs, because you're just sending out constant messages and constant support. So what gets you fired up?
I've had over the years, many people say, I've never seen you angry. What does it look like when you are angry? And what gets me fired up usually is my son. My 18-year-old son who challenges me. He's the most amazing kid. I also have a daughter. They're both amazing, wonderful people, wonderful children. There's something about parenting. And, I've heard you talk a number of times about parenting struggles, if I can call it that. And thanks. I think with parenting, he challenges me because he's got really strong communication skills, and he was part of the debate club, which is an amazing thing. But he likes to debate almost everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, and so
I wonder where he gets
over the years.
I wonder where he gets that from. I jokingly said, I want my kids to grow up and become adults that never accept no as an answer.
Yes.
But I want them to wait until they're adults to come to that conclusion. Because as a kid, my kids are the same way, and I know they get it from me. They just want to debate and argue everything and justify the why. But there's a part of me that's actually kind of proud. Yes. I hate that I'm the recipient of that, but I'm so proud that they will push back. They will challenge. They will try to figure out the root cause of things to make things better. And to go to Ray's question, yes, Ray, this is a hashtag Team Caitlin shirt. But don't worry. It's not like I've traded loyalties. You just weren't supposed to be watching today. I thought you had a meeting, so I thought this would be my day to sneak it in. I just got called out. Yeah, it is a hashtag Team Caitlin Giordano.
Yeah, I love Caitlin.
Oh, I love her too. Absolutely. She's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Now, Nikki's pointing out that she realized that she has some passive aggressive tendencies. I think there are times in all of our lives where we have these epiphanies about these darker sides that we didn't know we had. Mm-hmm. But I got a sense from you that you're kind of proud that this kind of stuff can come out from time to time.
Yes. You have to have both sides, right?
Yeah. I agree. So now Ray is popping in. Again, she was too busy to be here today, but she's going to take over, apparently, calling out my wardrobe choices, asking questions. Oh, sorry. No, she's not here. Never mind. She's not here. She's not at all. I apologize. That is not Ray Hewitt. It's somebody that hijacked her phone. But this person does have a question. Speaking of your passions and the things that drive you, you talked about your own kids and how sometimes they can bring out this passionate side of you. Mm-hmm. In life, in school, what is the thing that drives you? What is your biggest passion for education right now?
Well, my biggest passion, not just for education, but for life, is relationships. I'm passionate about people, and I will write it even in my cover letter for whenever I apply for jobs. It's relationships, because people make me feel happy and they make me feel connected. And so when it comes to, like earlier you were saying something about the content and all that the Teach Better team pushes out, but it's really the connection that we have with others that's what makes the Teach Better team so special. And it's the same idea that school, being a leader, being a person, being part of my Ringette community, any community that I'm part of, my family, my extended family, it's all about making those connections and building relationships. And I have something I want to share too about this course that Yale offers. But when it comes to students, it's like every student is special to me. And Caitlin, your shirt is on screen.
Sorry.
So I really believe that it's in every interaction that we have, we can be really intentional with that interaction, that it actually is a gift that we're given to uplift other people through our kindness, through our gratitude, to help make their day a brighter one. Like there's so many times that sometimes I kind of think, I've always said there's more than one way to say the same thing. Always said that for decades. And I really believe in that anytime that I interact with somebody, I can have, like even the simple thing as a hello. Oh, thanks, Ray. Even a simple thing as a hello, you can say it with like a half smile. You can say it with a large smile. You can say it with a nice wave, with I'm so happy to see you. Like, even things like when I see somebody in the parking lot, we're pulling out, parking at the same time. When I see them, I could just go, hey, hey, how's it going? Or I can go like, hey, I'm so happy to see you this morning. And like, I really mean that when I see people, and I brighten up because I'm happy to see them. I do the same with my students, and you can imagine. And that's how I feel. Like that's how I was made to feel when I first joined the Teach Better team, because that welcoming is one of my most favorite words. I have a website, and that was the theme of my first post is welcoming. And like anybody that walks into our classroom, many times they're just here to do something. Like, right now we have major cleaning protocols. So every couple hours, somebody comes to clean the light switches and the sinks and all that. And most people, or not most, some people, they want to come in, just do their thing and then just kind of sneak out. Not my class. They walk in, and the first thing my kids do is they just almost scream out, welcome. And, like I think that makes them stand out. It makes them feel like, oh, thanks for welcoming me. And, many times like, oh, no, I just want to drop this off. And I'm like, no, we want to welcome you to our class. And even our superintendent came to visit, and she walked into our class, and it was like that same, like, welcome, Cheers. Have you ever watched Cheers?
Oh yeah, Norm.
Yeah, idea, right? And so I think it just helps people feel warm and welcome when you have that first greeting.
No, it's so spot on. I'm reminded of just last night. So my daughter, 9-year-old daughter, absolutely amazing, only daughter I have out of my 4 kids. She's my little princess. But drop her off at dance class. She gets to go to dance class right now in like this quarantine bubble. So odd weeks and even weeks, some weeks she's doing Zoom dance classes. Some weeks she gets to go in with like 2 other kids and go do dance class. But last night I got to drop her off at dance class. And then when I went to go pick her up, I pull into this parking lot and I'm right across the doorway from her. And every week when she's coming out to the car, I start flashing lights, honking and waving, just being the most obnoxious dad ever. And every week she just rolls her eyes, gets in the car and sighs and says, "Dad, why do you do that?" And it's the same thing. I just want her to know that she is the center of my universe, and I will make a fool of myself. I'll make a fool of her to make sure that she knows that she's valued, because I know there will come a day when I won't do that, when I won't be there to honk the horn and flash the lights and wave and be this goofball. And I know the feeling she's going to have that first time I'm not there to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to pour into her as much as I can. I love that you do that with not just your own biological, but your students as well, and just people in life. And I know Andrea said the same thing, that you were just one of the most genuine people ever. I can't tell you how many times I've woken up to a text from you that you sent in the middle of the night that I was just thinking about you, Dave, and wanted you to get this message, let you know that you're on my mind or in my heart or whatever. And those things are so powerful. I love that you always respond to that small, still voice that's creeping around in there. It's powerful.
Well, I really believe that people are put onto my mind, or people are put onto our minds for a reason. And I feel compelled to do something until I do, my mind doesn't rest. So somebody pops into my mind in the morning, I feel like I have to reach out and just go, "Hey, how's it going? I've been thinking about you. I've missed you. Oh, thank you, Kate."
Yeah.
And it's a gift. We have this gift to uplift each other. Life is hard, right? And how long does it take for me to send a text? If I've thought about it, if somebody's been put onto my mind, onto my heart, it doesn't take that long to just reach out and just say, "Hey, I've been thinking about you. How's it going?" And I don't know.
It's powerful.
You feel happy. And I mentioned earlier, there's a course that Yale has put out. It's actually a psychology course. Oh, okay, you're so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a psychology course. It's called Psych and the Good Life. And it's all about the science of happiness and how to apply it. And it's the most popular course offered, which is interesting. They've had a quarter of the people that actually go to Yale, like in person, take the course. They have had over 200 people take this course online. And so they've done some research around it. And they basically say that the right way to do things is so it's all about self-care, right? What do you think of when you hear self-care?
Oh, well, there's a lot of things. I think of, what do I need to do to put myself in front of everybody else?
Sorry, can you say that? I didn't glitched a little bit.
No, you're fine. I said, honestly, where I tend to go with that is I start to think, how do I put myself in front of everybody else to serve my own needs first?
Yeah, and self-care, people think of bubble baths or like going to the spa, or walks,
right?
Things like that we do for ourselves. But what they found is that there's greater an impact on your happiness when you actually show kindness to other people. And I often think, well, I feel very happy every day. I'm joyfully alive. I wake up happy to be alive and to have another day to spend time with people and get to know them better. And when I read this article that my principal passed on to me, because she said, "I thought of you when I read this." And I've been sharing this to many different people, because we often think of self-care as taking care of ourselves, but it's in the acts of kindness toward others. It's like sending little notes to other people. It's reaching out by texting or just calling somebody for no reason, right? Because they've popped into your mind. And so many times it's easy to send a text because it just is, right? It doesn't take that much time. But how many times have you been surprised? Somebody just calls you out of the blue and you're amazed because you've had this amazing conversation, because you've had that extra kind of reach out, right?
Well, I'll be honest. If anybody ever calls me, yes, I'm completely shocked, because My phone doesn't ring anymore. Nobody ever calls me, period. Sometimes, well, I take that back. I've had people call me before and say, hey, do you have Ray's phone number? Do you have Liv's phone number? I need to call them. And then I end up having to pass off phone numbers to people. But Liv, I just want to talk to you real quick about the power of your impact, just the reach of it. I'm going to throw a comment up here real quick. Samantha, I guarantee you have no idea who this is. Okay. Samantha, I'm super glad that you are here. She is a student in one of my classes.
Oh.
Right. And works with students and makes an amazing impact. She is a person that I now follow on social media, and she's impacting me, motivating me. She's now hearing your words. It's like this whole exponential growth thing. Mm-hmm. The reason that I am able to connect with her and have an impact with her is because you uplift me and support me. There have been days, I'll be straight up honest with you, where I've thought, man, maybe this isn't for me. I miss the days of being in a classroom, connecting with kids, passing out those hugs and high fives and fist bumps every single day. But then you send me these little moments of connection, these little inspirational, you got this, Dave moments. And I'm reminded that we have never met. We have never met face to face, but I know that we have this connection that will never be broken. Mm-hmm. And this is just through this virtual relationship. And that reminds me that I can do the same thing for students that I teach and I reach. And that now I can have these connections with people that are going to far surpass our classroom experiences. They're going to far surpass this virtual technology divide and form real connections with people. And again, it's your inspiration. It's you modeling this to others that has this exponential impact. And I'm so excited to see the people in the comments that are saying the same sorts of things, that they want to be like you. You know, Ray's word for 2021 is #Livia. Let's be like Liv. I mean, that's it. Respond to that small, still voice, reach out to people, make people feel like they matter. And Caitlin, you can always call me. Come on now.
I know you said that. I'm like, oh, I need to call you now one day.
No, it's so good. But it's not always just about picking up the phone and calling. It is about reaching people wherever they are, however you need to reach them. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And you mentioned impact, and sometimes it's that imposter syndrome that comes back. It's like, well, I'm just doing my thing. I'm not trying to impact. You know what I mean? This is just what I do. And the feedback that I've heard from other people, it's been amazing. And, you know, I'm happy to share. Like, it's not even a big thing that I feel like I do. And I would love, you know, if everybody were to reach out to, you know, however many people every day, like that ripple effect is amazing, right?
Well, and I think that's why it has so much power. You know, we've seen a lot of people talk, especially this fall, about eliminating the word just before the word teacher. Don't ever say you are just a teacher. But I think oftentimes we throw the word just in front of a lot of our titles. You know, I am just a dad. I am just a guy living in Michigan. I'm just a guy right now talking to you in the corner of a room in my house because I got kicked out of my office by my kids or virtual. We throw just in front of everything. But I think it's when you can throw that just in front of it that your true humility comes out. You know, it's one thing for you to reach out to people when you're thinking, is this going to make an impact? I am just Livia, but I'm going to respond to this just because I feel like I need to. I think sometimes people try to form relationships that are less than authentic, and you read right through it. And it isn't a relationship. I say a relationship that is formed for any reason other than a relationship is manipulation. And there's a big difference. You know, if you're a teacher in your classroom and you're forming relationships with a kid just so that they can do work for you down the road, that's not a relationship. That's manipulation. If you are a leader and you're forming relationships with your staff just so that they'll work harder for you, that's manipulation. If you are an adult forming a relationship with another adult just so that fill in the blank, it's manipulation. And the fact that you look at yourself and say, I'm just Livia from British Columbia, who am I to reach out to these people, is why it is so powerful. Because we know how authentic it is and so genuine that you don't see yourself as this person of authority or amazing influence. You just do it because you just want to be real. And I love that so much about you. I love it. And yeah, we all want to be just like Liv in 2021. It's so good.
I appreciate everybody. It's, I'm speechless.
So let me change it up a little bit. So again, this is the Live Hour, so it's all about you. So I have a Team Caitlin shirt on today. I also own a hashtag Team Ray shirt. I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's say we put you in charge of the swag store this weekend, and you get to come up with a hashtag Team blank shirt. We're seeing hashtag Team Liv is trending right now. Which hashtag team do we want to create for you, Liv? What kind of new shirt, new swag is going in the shop?
Ooh.
And just for the record, if you say Jeff Gargis, we're ending this conversation.
There's already a Team Jeff shirt.
Good. Okay. Good cover. Good cover. Yeah.
Whoa, there's many. How about this? Gratitude is meant to be shared.
That was a cop-out, Liv.
It
I put you on the spot. I wanted to see you start some controversy here. I wanted you to put your flag and stake a claim. And you said, no, let's just spread love and joy to everybody. Hashtag gratitude. Wah, wah, wah. No. See, that's why you're a way better person than I am.
Not to be me.
No, seriously, that's why you're a way better person. I have no problem telling people exactly which side I'm on. This weekend was supposed to be an amazing weekend for me where my Wolverines were going to overcome a 30-point spread to come in at least hang close to those Buckeyes. But my team decided that they would rather get sick than travel to Ohio, which I completely understand. But again, it's me saying my loyalties. I will put my flag in a spot and say Team Caitlin or Team Ray, really anybody but Team Jeff, and I'm good. So again, way better person. Yeah, I agree with you, Alex.
I know. I thought by now there would be one.
You know what the issue is? I don't think that would fit. Team Schmittou is like, it's too big of a shirt. We'd have to order like triple extra large or something, and I don't know how many people would be able to buy that. So I get it. I'm still waiting for the hats to come through. You are particularly great at Pokemon. Yes, Caitlin. Yes, I am. I tend to say too much at times. Yeah, I speak honestly. And unfortunately, at times that means I also have to apologize honestly quite a bit. So let me go back up. Ray asked a question early on that led me to asking about your passion.
Oh, yes. That was a while ago.
It was. But it led us down this winding path. And she asked what my soapbox speech would be. Like, what would be the thing that I would step up and say, if I've got you in an elevator with me for 30 seconds and you can't go anywhere, what would my rant be? I'm wondering, because I talk about a lot of things, if anybody wants to throw in the comments what they think my rant would be. It would not be Michigan football. It would not be Ohio sucks. Well, maybe it would. I don't know. But if it was education, what would I rant about? I'm just curious. I'm curious. Or you can continue to throw more questions for Liv in the comments. You have a guess, Liv?
Yeah. Is it focus on the focus?
Focus on the focus. Wow, that is deep. You're gonna have to explain that one, Liv.
Even sometimes when I hear it, I'm like, what does that mean?
What does it mean? What's it mean? Focus on the focus.
Sorry?
What does it mean? What in your head? Why did you jump to that?
In my head. I think it means what it is that's important to you, you need to focus on it. So like for me, it's, again, I go back to relationships. It's about, every interaction is an opportunity. Every person that we meet is an opportunity to get to know, to value, to learn about, and to have a friendship with. So the focus for me is that. And so my focus on the focus is that. It's people, it's the relationship building, it's the, the daily interactions. And it's, I really believe that. I mean, how many times have you really worked on a relationship and then that one time that you weren't so patient or you weren't so kind, that just tore down like how many interactions of you really trying to build that person up and build a positive relationship, right? There isn't, to me, there isn't a neutral ground. All your interactions are going to uplift somebody or they're going to tear them down. And so what my lens is, every interaction, and it's intentional, that in my language, in what I say and what I do, is to uplift and to help people's day feel brighter and feel better about themselves. That it feels like a tall order, especially sometimes around my son on certain things. But yeah, I don't know. That's my focus on the focus, like in everything that I do.
I love that. And, I'm seeing in the comments here, people writing standards are only standard if they're standard, which is, I guess that's another Schmittoism, right? Throughout possibly assessments. But the reality is all of those conversations do center around this idea of focusing on the focus, identifying your priority. Mm-hmm. Let me go back like 4 or 5 years ago. I was a guy who was not very good at focusing on the focus. I was a guy that was out there burning in at both ends and finding myself exhausted and just trying my best to grasp onto something, anything, and was trying to become this jack of all trades, and realized quickly that I was simply drowning by doing that. And I was spending so much time trying to bring my weaknesses up to average, as opposed to trying to find the things that I was already gifted in and trying to make those things exceptional, that I lost focus. And it's ironic that back in 2019, when I was identifying my word for 2020, the idea of 2020 coming into focus was where I was going. 2020 was going to be this year of focus. I didn't realize that a pandemic was going to hit. Right. I didn't realize that we were all going to double down and stay at home and really have to reflect and reevaluate. But I'm so grateful that my word was focus, that has allowed me to truly zero in and say, what are my priorities? Right. And that's where some of these conversations, like assessment, completely falls into that. I'm a firm believer that assessments are a way to articulate your priorities. When you say, this is what I'm going to assess, whether it's for myself in the morning, when I stand on a scale, I'm assessing something that I think is important. When I look in the mirror to try to figure out if I match, I'm assessing my priorities. When I look at my bank account, I'm assessing my priorities. With students, when I'm assessing what they know, I've taken all of what's been taught or all of what's going to be taught. And I'm saying this is the most important stuff, and I need to collect evidence of what's important. Standards fit into that equation as well, having these standards of excellence. But yeah, for me, it really does come down to a focus on the focus and really prioritizing. And I feel like that's one of the reasons I'm looking back on 2020 and all of the anguish and all the heartache and all the difficulties of it. I honestly think I am a better person here at the tail end of 2020 than I was at the tail end of 2019, because I've been able to double down on my focus.
Yeah, so I totally agree. And many people that I've connected with feel the same way, that there are negative aspects to 2020. And many people are saying, I can't wait till it's over. Michelle! But there's so many great things that have come out of it too. Like I said earlier, because of the pandemic, I've been connected to the Teach Better team. And I cannot imagine my life without all of you now. Right. And not just the Teach Better team, but I've been a lot more active on Twitter. So I have friends outside that aren't quite connected to the Teach Better team yet. And yeah, that connection piece with different people, because we've got our circle of, my extended family and other friends that I don't often talk to, or not often talk to, but not as often. But because of the pandemic, like I'm thinking about them a lot more, right? And so I'm reaching out to a lot more people. And every single time I've reached out, I've received that love back. And it just keeps me, it's like a fire, right? You put something in, but you also get something out. You get that warmth and that love.
No, you're spot on. Every decision we make comes with an opportunity cost. I mean, this is where I'll geek out and talk a little economic theory. When you spend money on something, it's less money you had to spend on something else. That's an opportunity cost. Yeah. When you decide that you're going to spend your time, even if it's 30 seconds, sending that text to somebody, that's 30 seconds that you could have spent somewhere else. And it does come with an opportunity cost. And what you have to evaluate is, will the return on that investment be worth it? And when you focus on those relationships and saying, I'm going to take the 30 seconds to respond to this, the opportunity cost might be, this is a leap of faith. What if they don't ever reply back? What if they look at me and think, I'm so cheesy? It's worth the risk, because you could inspire somebody to go out and do something great today that you'll never hear about, you'll never know about, just to keep going. Every decision you make. Our decision today to get up and do this daily drop-in, for you, that meant going live at 5:30 a.m. your local time. For me, it was a much easier decision. I had a clear calendar from 8:30 to 9:30 today, and I got up and said, okay, the only thing I'm going to sacrifice is not having to deal with getting my kids logged into school. Thank you. That was an easy decision. But for you, it might have been a little bit more challenging, and you had to decide, is it worth it? I'm so grateful that you said, yes, I am going to sacrifice some of my sleep to pour into value to others. My own personal life. I was just talking to Ray and Jeff about this last weekend. I'll share this. On the weekends, sometimes I go DoorDash. What? Dave Schmittou goes and yeah. Sometimes I go out and DoorDash and I deliver McDonald's to people to make a few extra bucks, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because the return on the other end. You make decisions all day, every day.
Yes.
But your decisions need to come back to your priorities, your focus, and your value, because every decision you make costs you somewhere else. So focus on the focus and figure out, is this worth the investment? The cost of doing something always exists. We determine which things are worth the cost because of the potential return. That's it, Caitlin. It's exactly it. Life is all about taking chances, taking risks, taking leaps of faith. But if you do it for the benefit of others, you will always get a return on your investment. Always, always. And it goes back to what you were talking about with self-care. Self-care isn't about you sitting in a massage chair and getting a pedicure always. Sometimes it's 30 seconds of a tweet, a text, a message to somebody else that they feel uplifted to go out and change the world. So good.
And the number of times that people have said, I so needed this today.
Right.
Like, that's enough to keep me going, right?
Right.
That, it makes me want to reach out to other people. And like one time I was working on a blog post, and for some reason, somebody had popped into my mind. And I thought, I'm working hard. I'm in my flow. And I thought, no, I'm just pick up my phone and just text, connected with this person, and just checking in. And then later in the conversation, heard that was the day that her divorce was finalized. She hadn't even told her kids yet. But it was like, one of those aha moments, like it was meant to happen. Like, she was put on my heart for a reason. And if I had ignored that and just thought, I'll text her tomorrow, or, in the next few days, like, I'm really in my flow right now, we wouldn't have connected. And she wouldn't have had that extra, like, hey, how's it going today? Right. And I think it made a huge difference for her.
It's powerful.
Yeah. And it's a little thing, but it actually isn't a little thing. It's a big thing.
You're so spot on. I'm just throwing in the chat. We'll see if it pops up for everybody. I put my phone number there because, Liv, I know you've got it, and your messages to me inspire me, but the rest of you, feel free to give me some of those attaboys too. Feel free to boost me up whenever you want to. Reach out to me and text me and just say, Dave, I'm sure you said something stupid today, but no, there's always tomorrow. Feel free to give me that hope to keep going and lift me up. Liv, I'm looking at Andrea's comment here, and I know she's running off to class. And we didn't even get a chance to talk to you about all of the duties that you do as a teacher and head teacher, and all of the things, because we were so busy talking Ringette and Costco today. But I do want to try to wrap things up for people, because they do have to go teach. They have day jobs, much like you. From all of this, I know you probably nailed it already, the idea of relationships and connecting, but do you have anything else you want people to focus in on today as they go about their day or the weekends or whenever they're catching this, if they're catching it on the podcast or the replay?
I would love to challenge people to look at things through, we talked a lot about kindness, but the other part of me is huge on gratitude. So I would love to challenge people to kind of put on the set of glasses, and everything that they experience today and the days to come, and especially in the holidays, is to see things with a lens of gratitude. And positivity is another one. So you choose your glasses. You want to put on the lens of gratitude or put on the lens of positivity. But in every negative situation, I know when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to see, but there's always a silver lining if you're looking for one. Right?
True story.
That's my positivity lens. And then gratitude is when a while ago I did some research on how to make people happy, right? I was thinking about my son a little bit, and so I did a lot of reading on it, and time again, what kept on coming up was gratitude, to have an attitude of gratitude. And so I feel that a lot of things, that the things that happen, it's if I see things in that with that lens, it helps me keep going. Like, it helps me stay positive with that lens of gratitude, being grateful. Well, I'm grateful that I have this. I'm grateful that I have that. And there's so many things that we can feel gratitude for. And it's every day. So you pick your set of glasses, the set of gratitude lens or positivity lens.
That's good. I love it. It's not something you're just defaulted to. You get to choose.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do some shameless plugging real quick before we let people go. You and I get to connect every single Tuesday. Most Tuesdays, you and I connect twice on Tuesdays because you're part of the Administrator Mastermind group, where educational leaders truly from around the world come together and connect. And the fact that you are a part of the group, and again, most weeks you join both the morning 9 a.m. and the 7 p.m. group, is powerful. To know that educational leaders around the world get to hear messages like what you just delivered and get to connect with other like-minded people is powerful. So if you're a teacher, maybe send this to your administrator as a nice little Christmas present. It's completely free, but they don't need to know that. Feel free to send them this link and say, hey, I registered you this for this. Merry Christmas or whatever. And they don't need to know it's free. Send them here, and they'll be completely uplifted because they get to hang out with Livia every single week. Or you can also go to educationblueprint.org and you can gift a grid, gift a resource, gift a teaching idea to others.
I still need to do that.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity right now where Education Blueprint, this awesome nonprofit, is working with the Teach Better team just to collect resources. It could be lesson ideas. It can be mini lessons. It could be a grid if you want to. Basically, anything that you have that is magical in your classroom that you want to help share with others, go to gift a grid, educationblueprint.org, and upload what you've got. Go ahead, Liv.
It's so well organized too.
Yeah.
You can find, right now it's still a relatively new baby, if you want to call it that. So there aren't a lot of things on there, but I could totally see it growing. And we often talk about teachers pay teachers, and it has so many people that use that service, if you want to call it that. I have a hard time feeling that I want to put things out there and charge people. So Education Blueprint really sits better with me because it's all about sharing. When you think about who we are, it's because of you've received other ideas from other people. And so the idea that, I get it, you poured in a lot of work into it, and it's a way to make money. We talked about the differences in Canada and US. I really believe that we get paid a little bit more in Canada than teachers in the US. So, you want, if you're putting something out there and you can get some kind of monetary return, I understand that. But I think for me, it just doesn't feel right to say, okay, well, I've created this resource, I'm going to charge people for it. So that's why Education Blueprint fits better with who I am.
So, Liv, there's a little bear poker inside of you. I like this. You do have a little bit of a little spunk to you. Well done. Well done. That would have been a statement that people would have expected me to make, Liv, but you went there, and I'm proud of you for it. That's amazing. Liv, thank you so much again for giving up time this morning to hang out, make all of us feel better. I know that people that are watching and listening to this feel like you just reached out to them through this 55-minute video conversation, that you were speaking directly to them and making them feel better. I just want to let you know, I appreciate you both as a friend, as a colleague, as a mentor, as a support. You just throw these positive titles out there, and that's who I appreciate you as. So thank you so much for being a part of my life and the lives of all of the Teach Better team. You truly make us all better. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I feel the same way about all of you. You know, everybody has a huge place in my heart, and I've loved being connected to everybody. And, you know, like I said earlier, I can't imagine my life without the people on the Teach Better team. And when I say a Teach Better team, it doesn't mean just the people here, like, but I mean the outreach, all the other people that are just connected, people that join for Mastery Chat or daily drop-ins, or, you know, everybody just, I don't know, I just have such a warm feeling in my heart when I think Teach Better team and everybody that's included in this family.
Agreed. So Teach Better family, go out, have an amazing Friday, have an awesome weekend. Know that you've got a break coming up very, very soon, hopefully, where you can use this time to rejuvenate, show some self-love, self-care by reaching out to others, make their days amazing as well, and just go out there and be better every single day. We appreciate you.